Russian President Vladimir Putin is facing an unexpected crisis, and this one is domestic. The very fighters he banked on to claim victories in Bakhmut and Donetsk are now turning against him. Yevgeny Pigozhin, the head of the mercenary group Wagner, is mounting what goes down as an armed mutiny against the Kremlin. He has lashed out specifically at the Russian Defense Ministry for alleged excesses against the Wagner Group. And as per reports, the Wagner Group has already begun their mutiny by downing helicopters and planes of the Russian army. After taking over a key air military base and the town of Rostov-on-Don in southern Russia. Now, reacting to this, the Russian President Vladimir Putin addressed the nation, accusing Wagner chief Yevgeny Pigozhin of armed treason. He referred to Prigozhin's dissent as a stab in the back.
Actions that split our unity are apostasy from our people, from our comrades in arms who are now fighting at the front. This is a stab in the back of our country and our people.
As per media reports, Putin also spoke to his Belarusian counterpart Lukashenko on Saturday morning, informing him about the situation in Russia. These escalations come after Prigozhin issued a video from inside a building, announcing that he has taken control of the army headquarters in Rostov-on-Don. He further said that his troops are en route to Moscow, part of an attempted takeover. This is the first insurrection that Russia is facing in decades since the Chechen War. Now, Prigozhin says the Russian president is wrong to accuse him of treason. He is demanding Defense Minister Shoigu and Chief of General Army Staff Gerismov, and they must come to see him in Rostov-on-Don.
As for betraying the motherland, the president is deeply mistaken. We are patriots of our motherland. We have fought and we are fighting, everyone from Wagner PMC. And no one is going to turn themselves in at the behest of the president, the FSB or anyone else, because we don't want the country to continue to live in corruption, deceit and bureaucracy.
It has been evident for some time that Prigozhin is unhappy with Russia's defense leadership, but discontent has now evolved into mutiny. The Wagner chief has pledged to oust the leadership of the defense ministry in Moscow, particularly Defense Minister Shoigu and Chief of General Staff Gerismov. Now, Prigozhin claims that the Russian military had killed a huge number of Wagner fighters in an airstrike.
Once again, we came here and we want to get the Chief of Staff and Shoigu. Until they come here, we will stay here and we will block the city of Rostov and go towards Moscow. The guys are dying because you are pushing them into a meat grinder, without munitions, without any thought, without any plan. You are just aging clowns.
Prigozhin has previously slammed Russia's military leadership for failures in the war in Ukraine and is known for his long-running feud with the defense ministry. He claimed full credit for capturing the Donetsk region's salt mining town of Soledar in Ukraine and accused the Russian defense ministry of trying to steal Wagner's glory. After Prigozhin's call to oust Russia's defense leadership, authorities have put in place tighter security measures in Moscow. Amid growing concerns about the risk of an attack on the capital, Russia's security officials have introduced roadblocks around Moscow, something which is being reported as the Kremlin's fortress plan. The plan is rarely used and is intended to repel an attack on security force installations in Moscow. Russian media claims that it implies an emergency gathering of law enforcement personnel and taking control of especially important objects of the Ministry of Internal Affairs, the Federal Security Service, or the Federal Penitentiary Service. The plan also provides for blockading the building of law enforcement agencies and readiness by the forces on duty to repel an external attack. This has led to panic among some of Moscow's residents, whereas others said that they had no confidence in Putin and the Kremlin.
выезжает как бы техника, подняли всех по тревоге, то есть, но наши работают оперативно. Мне кажется, здесь защита именно наших граждан в первую очередь стоит, как бы, и ну, не может не пугать. Конечно же, сидишь дома, то есть, как бы, что может произойти, беспокоит и своя, и близких жизнь, конечно же.
Meanwhile, in Kiev, President Zelensky took to Twitter, saying for a long time Russia used propaganda to mask its weakness and the stupidity of its government. And now there is so much chaos that no lie can hide it. The Ukrainian intelligence service says the confrontation between the Wagner chief and the military leadership is a sign that Putin's regime is collapsing. WION now available in your country. Download the app now. Get all the news on the move.